From the world of John Wick, Ballerina is directed by Len Wiseman and stars Ana de Armas as the titular ballerina. An assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. I'm a big fan of the John Wick films. I think all 4 John Wick movies are absolutely incredible action films. Some are better than others, but their action is great, their characters are interesting, the world building is exciting, and Keanu Reeves just is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the amount of practical stunts he and the stunt team do in these films, in these action sequences. And Chapter 4 was the perfect conclusion to end John Wick's story. Or so I thought until they announced the 5th movie. Damn it! But I was interested enough in the world itself to be able to give other characters a chance. Though I haven't seen The Continental, I heard mixed things about it. I did hear plenty of good things about Ballerina. So I went to go see this, and all in all, I have to say, Ballerina was really good. It's probably my least favorite of the John Wick films, but overall, I think the action is really exciting. The characters are really interesting and decent enough to hold the story together. And despite the story itself probably being the weakest aspect, like there's no awards that are going to be given to the script of this movie at all. Like if there is a single nomination for screenplay for Ballerina, I'm calling hacks. Like that is not the strong point of this movie. I think it is still emotionally resonant with the character enough to be able to have us latch on to her trauma and what she's going through. And I think Ana de Armas does a really good job in the role to sell these action sequences that she does. And overall, she does carry a lot of this movie on her shoulder. She has a good personality to her character. I did like her struggle and her trying to use a lot of her wit and intelligence to try and outdo her opponents. As stated earlier in the film, she is weaker than a lot of men out there, and so she needs to cheat, she needs to improvise, and I think the film does a pretty good job at showing that side of her character, being more of an improv kind of action hero who gets out by the skin of her teeth, really, and just makes shit up as the movie goes along. And it makes her really agile and dangerous and gives the action a different kind of style to that of John Wick, who does have a supporting role in the film and is a pretty prevalent character in the 3rd act. And how I think the film utilizes him does a really good juxtaposition for Ana de Armas' character and John Wick, and showcasing how these two characters are different, but in some ways are also alike. And so that conflict that these two characters have with one another and how the film presents that, I think worked very well to help progress the story of Ana de Armas' Ballerina. And it made her really interesting, especially in the 3rd act when she tries to get her revenge. And the emotional side to her character, whenever we do get that, I think hits pretty well. Just not like emotionally well enough for you to be crying or really feeling those emotions, because a lot of this movie's focus is on the action. And holy shit, the action here is fantastic. Some of the best action scenes in the entire franchise, if I do say so myself. While I don't think it reaches the heights of John Wick Chapter 4, as I think the story of that film is just as strong as the action itself and gives the action a lot more meaning. And gives the action a lot more meaning. I still think that the action here does a really good job at feeling different in each scene, getting a sense of scope of the action, having the characters feel like they are losing or winning a fight, and you're on the edge of your seat whenever something bloody or brutal happens. Like, there are a bunch of action sequences in this film that I don't want to spoil, but if you've seen the trailers and you see that grenade scene or that flamethrower scene, you ain't seen shit from the trailers. Like, it's even more exciting in the film. I cannot wait for you guys to go watch all that and be just as excited as I was with the action. It is incredibly well done, but it also feels like a different movie. As Len Wiseman did do a lot of the film, he is the sole credited director, but then you have the old creative team from the main John Wick films coming in to help with the action, and you can kind of tell which action is Len Wiseman's action and which one is just the mainline John Wick team. And I think it goes to show that it's those creatives that what really made John Wick stand out in the first place as an action franchise. And you can tell that the only reason why this film is really as good as it is because the action is really exciting and they're able to find new ways to be creative. I wouldn't say they topped themselves with this one. As I said, I think the action in Chapter 4 is a lot more engaging, but in terms of creativity, I think Ballerina kind of outdid a lot of stuff from Chapter 4 of John Wick. All in all, this was a really exciting action film. Not one of the best action films I have seen, but it has some of the best action sequences I have seen all year, with good enough characters, a fine enough story that did rely a bit on convenience at times, and the main villain I felt was pretty weak and wasn't that intimidating, and that's due to him not having that much of a presence in the film. Aside whenever it comes to John Wick and every villain just rolls and just turns into an armadillo and gets the fuck out of there. But other than that, I thought the main villain was just weak. Like, even his connection to our main character just did not really feel all that fleshed out. I feel like the movie could have done a bit of a better job at making our hero and villain have a lot more of a better connection with one another than it did. But all in all, Ballerina is still a really fun action film, and I do recommend you guys go check it out, and I'm going to give Ballerina a B. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.